the red. We're going to do this on the fly. Brett Dolan and Lexi.
We're ready to go. The players are
is in the circle. And we believe it's Allison Bodick who's going to begin things.
Central California Dirt Dogs Vasquez, 18 goal, the 2026 from Fresno.
She's a Montana Fouts fan. It's a good look at Bodick from Newtown Rock. And again, we'll do our best to introduce you to these players as we go along. There are more than 30 on each team. So as you can imagine, Lexi, this is going to be a little bit chaotic.
Chaos is probably the best word for it. A little bit of organization, a little bit of chaos, a lot of chaos going on.
Bodick is a 20-28, and she's going to sky one to rather deep left center. That play will not be made. The ball kicked loose, and Bodick is going to cruise into second base. And Lexi, we did not have a home run in the first game, the 16U power pool. That wind is kind of knocking down some balls, and I thought off the bat that might get out.
Sure thing. There's a little bit more moisture in the air here tonight, so that dry air isn't letting the ball carry quite as far as usual we see out here in the Denver area. Might keep some balls inside the park today.
We'll see a lot of talent, though. And again, we're going to introduce you to these young ladies as we go along. This is Ellie McLaughlin. She's going to swing at the first pitch and hit one foul. Did we have a catcher's interference? We sure did. Not only was there catcher's interference, she knocked the glove about 20 feet in front of the plate. It's hard to sell that one when the glove went airborne.
Hard to miss that call there. Glad that the catcher is all right.
Yes, Alickman, it looks like she's okay. So McLaughlin will reach, and this is Brooklyn Atha. Brooklyn for Impact, 16U. She wants to be a sports broadcaster. Don't they all? That ball is just torched, but foul down the line and left.
Gonzalez showed her changeup early, and we'll see if she comes back with it. See how much she trusts that pitch here early on.
It certainly is so much different than going out there for a 4 or 5 inning start where they might tell you, hey, hold this pitch for the second time through. You're out there to try and get 3 outs and showcase as best as you can.
And as hard as it is to get outs on these batters, batter after batter, that are just absolutely elite, you got to bring it every single pitch.
Atha is going to stroke one to right, and that is a base hit. It's going to produce a run as Bodick will score. McLaughlin goes all the way to third base, and Atha with the single and an RBI. Young lady from Buford, Georgia, made some hard contact.
Keeping it simple, staying inside the ball, shooting it right out there to right field. Well done.
So a double, a catcher's interference, and a single and an RBI. So the Fresno native, the 2026 Jocelyn Gonzalez, trying to pick up a couple of outs, and things go fast in these future stars and all-star games. So she's dealing with the cleanup hitter, Alice Hand. Good pitch for a strike, and Atha will just continue to second base and swipe that one. Stanford fan is Hand, and that's another pretty good location. Indeed, called a strike to Alice, a Foster City, California native. She'd like to play for Harvard or Brown or Yale. She wants to go to the Ivy League.
That's what we love to see. Gonzalez really pounding the strike zone here early, making these hitters work.
You know, it's one of those things, Lexi, when you're scheduled to pitch the 6th or the 7th inning, there's a lot of waiting. But when you're starting the game, there's a little bit of anxiety, too.
I would imagine that there's a few nerves here on the mound.
Hard hit, and that's going to be fair, and it's inside the bag at third. It's going to plate not 1 but 2 runs. Alice Hand has a 2-run double, and the blue team has come out smoking.
Well, these hitters are looking at perhaps just one at bat with 30 players on each roster, so they're going to come out swinging as well. And with a pitcher pound in the strike zone, we've seen some action early here.
We had a handful of batters swinging away 3-0 yesterday, and you can understand the process. There's a Maya Jones. She's going to lay down a bunt, great speed. She's going to beat it out. So the Deltona, Florida native drops one down and then showcased the wheels and reaches on the bunt hit.
That speed is nearly impossible to defend, and a sneaky bunt there will catch even the best defenders off guard on the infield. And here comes Coach to talk it out.
Yeah, you hope to get an out. Maybe on a bunt you can at least pick one up and start producing those 3 outs, but all of a sudden it's been double catcher's interference, which goes as an error, and no at bat for the batter, then single with an RBI, a 2-run double, infield single for Chloe Chappell. Chappell from Lady Lightning Gold Elite. But it's a good point. When you bat 30-some players for each team, at the top of the lineup, you might get 2 at-bats. When you're at the bottom, you certainly may not. So you've got one opportunity to showcase yourself in front of all these observers.
I would say it would definitely adjust my approach in that situation.
Chappell
swinging at the first pitch.
Drives one to right, back to the fence, and we've got our first home run. An Oppo tank from Chloe Chappell. Up, out, and gone. She took a big hack and drives home 3 with one mighty swing. And the North Carolina native became the first to home run this field today.
Pitch on the outer half. Again, keeping it simple. Good launch angle there. Pushes it out over the right field fence.
You've seen the wind kind of knock down some balls to right over the course of today, but that shows you how hard the East Carolina commit made contact with that softball, and that's 6 batters and 6 runs. Avery Stockwell from Mojo Lewis is the next in. She's going to swing at the first one. There is just a magnet down that line. That ball's fair again. Stockwell with the single. That ball was played back in nicely. And the first 7 have reached. And Stockwell, she's a Mount Juliet, Tennessee native, a Jocelyn Allo fan. Committed to play at Tennessee. Kaylee Baxter next in. She's going to swing and hammer one foul out of play. Baxter from Oklahoma Athletics National. Wants to be a dermatologist. That's hard hit. That's tagged to left, but it's going to be an out the first of the inning. I mean, that ball was tattooed, but right to Barrett. And right now, you'll take it out any which way they come.
Absolutely. That ball hit right at the left fielder.
So 116 follows another in the lineup. This is part of the uniqueness. This is Jaden Stell. A lot of hitters up there, first pitch hacking. Stell from Arizona Rising.
Looks like we're waiting on a game ball here.
Okay, we've had a few ripped around this facility.
Goes back to that changeup.
And she's seen these hitters be aggressive early, has Gonzalez, and she's doing her best to use the aggressiveness against them.
Have to imagine that this coaching staff has advised their team to get out and swing early.
Turn it loose. Jaden Stell from Buckeye, Arizona. It's another one in to get a right field. This ball will not have the carry, and the play will be made. So a line out to left, a fly out to right for the first 2 outs. What they're doing is allowing this blue team to kind of cycle through this lineup. It gives guys hope that they might have an opportunity to bat twice.
Absolutely. I think any of them will take that additional at bat here in front of this electric crowd. Folks, families, teams, friends, softball fans turning out to support these young players.
Yeah, it's a tremendous turnout. There's a pro game going on in one of the adjoining fields. As Addison Owens bats, really kind of a celebration of softball here tonight. I stood in line for 15 minutes to buy a Coke. That tells you how packed it is around the facility.
We're in a beautiful evening here.
Owens from California looks at a strike.
It's like Gonzalez is settling in here.
And Owens, the Boise State commit. Central California well represented. That is fisted. And a little dribbler foul. Owens from Hanford, California. She says her proudest moment when she committed to Boise, and there you see the packed stands. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Owens. And Gonzalez is going to get the strikeout. She retired 3 straight after 6 runs. Always fun to hear about the ambitions and the goals for these young ladies.
That's what it's really all about. This is a Central Michigan University commit.
And Labriola is from California. Coto de Casa. She gets a pitch that's elevated, skies it in the air, deep center field, clearing our cameraman, and that's gone. Boy, Scarlett with a big smile, and you can understand why. Elevate, celebrate. How about a long home run for the red team to begin the bottom of the first inning?
That was a bomb. Absolute bomb.
It's a young lady that grew 9 inches in a year. You could see her height in that box. She got into those legs, though, launched this high pitch, and the reaction from our pitcher, Blumenshine, was as if to say, oh, my goodness, that's going a long way.
She might have known that one was gone out of her hand.
I think you're right. Avery Cheney from the Birmingham Thunderbolts is next in. Boy, that's a good feeling when you get that one out of the way. Hit a Future Stars game.
After giving up a few runs in the other half of the inning, good start.
And I don't believe that's a Thunderbolt, so that's Bandits. This is Shelby Souther. She's from Washington, committed to Nebraska. Future Husker. Snohomish, Washington, if I'm saying that right, from Bandits Breer 16U. Wants to be an agent in the sports world to help promote women's softball. Open stance, left-handed hitter. That's just a little bit up and a little bit out. So Blumenshine getting the start. She was probably ready to go, and she watched her teammates score 6 runs in the time of the first. She gave up a homer to begin the bottom of the frame, and that one's going to deflect away, and Southard will reach, put it in play. Good things will happen, and she's on base.
Absolutely. Another future star pitcher here coming in, really focusing in on throwing strikes, keeping it out of that red zone, up and over the middle of the plate, where she missed with Labriola, the leadoff hitter here.
Leilani Gonzalez out of Homestead, Florida, next in, representing Miami Stingrays Gator. She's going to swing, and skies one to left, but this is playable. I say playable. Look at the wind move that one. What a great catch in shallow left field for the first out.
Great catch. We've got that wind blowing across left to right here.
I believe that's Medina. There was a split second. I wasn't sure if she was going to get there or not.
The bit of doubt, I don't think she ever doubted it. She knew it the whole way.
Addison Joyner next in and takes strike one. From Glory Adkins Gold, 16U.
With a lineup of hitters like this, there's no batters off, so you got to get all the outs that you possibly can.
No, I tell you what, that's a good point. You know, sometimes in certain games you might identify some hitters as an opportunity to get some outs. There just isn't one. And Joyner, the Denton, Texas native, the next in. Healthy rip. Came up empty. Joyner, one of the uncommitteds in this game. So, yeah, I think you recognize when you come to an event like this, whether you're playing in the power pool, the regular tournament, the Future Stars game, there are eyes on you. That's an opportunity. Heartbeat might go a little bit faster than normal.
I would say so. This is likely the first time appearing on ESPN for many of these young women out on the field, and certainly won't be their last. Incredible amount of talent on both of these lineups.
That's off the foot of Blumenschein. And the throw to first will not be in time, so we had a ground ball that deflected off the third baseman's glove, a base hit there that hit the foot of the pitcher, Blumenschein. And the red team trying to string together some base runners.
Blumenschein really still commanding the zone outside of that leadoff home run. Not a lot of barrel on these pitches from the right-hander.
No, it's a good point. Parker Willoughby, the batter, and I think we saw it in the earlier game. You know, just sometimes base runners are the enemy. And when you have a chance to get an out and one just deflects away or it's just out of the reach, you're worried that a big inning might follow, and Willoughby hoping that's the case.
Especially out here with these types of hitters that you're facing one after another that have the ability to blow open a game here, make a big game changer with just one swing of the bat.
Willoughby's committed to Ohio State. You won't have to change uniform colors with what she's wearing now. And that one's a little bit out. Kentucky native from Morgantown, Kentucky. Louisville Lady Slugger, 16U Burt. She says she also competes in pageants. And the pageant circuit and the softball circuit, maybe there's similarities. I'd be hard-pressed to come up with them as Willoughby takes ball four.
Maybe within the competitive spirit.
Competition, sure, yeah. Quick meeting in the circle before the red team bats with the bases juiced and only one out.
A similar sort of pressure in the heat of the moment, comparing pageant to standing at bat.
I'd have to think
here.
about that one a little bit, but
I don't know that I'm familiar enough with
I'm not,
pageants
that's for sure.
and their
we're trying to hang it on the softball thing here with 30-some players batting rather than the pageant route, which has its own scoring system. But this, we'll see Leah English bat competing here with the bases loaded, the New Jersey native. Blumenschein has induced one fly out to left, and she's able to paint the outside corner for a called strike. Blumenschein spinning that ball in her glove before the 1-1 pitch. That is popped up behind the plate, and this will carry just over the fence and hop up into the crowd.
A souvenir that you can please return at the backstop.
So it's 1-2 to English. English says she sprained both of her ankles so many times that every time she walks or runs, they make cracking noises. So if she hits a ball in the gap, there's going to be a lot of snap, crackle, and pop as she runs around the bases. Although that one just about hit those ankles. Almost hit the back leg.
wearing that guard on her front shin there, but otherwise just letting it happen. Snap, crackle, pop.
She really has those wrists and those hands wrapped behind the top of that helmet. Swings and drives another one in the air to center field. It will be caught. No grand slam, but it will be a sac fly. Southard will score on a long RBI sac fly from English. And it's a 6-2 game. We're having a burst of offense in this first inning alone for the 7-inning game.
I would anticipate, even though we have some of the best future pitchers here amongst the 16U Future Stars teams, these are the best of the best hitters.
And this is Kaylin Brown from Lady Dukes Lamar. Healthy rip and a miss, and a good pitch placed a little bit off that outside corner. Favorite movie, The Grinch. I like it. West Orange, New Jersey is where Kaylin Brown calls home. She's a 2027, so there's a little more amateur softball to come.
Few 2027s on these rosters. It's
there are.
So exciting to see the incredible amount of young talent coming up. Still a few years away, but prepped and ready for this level.
And the bloodlines are also fun as well. Jabril Peppers is related to Kaylin Brown. Chris Hogan, Devin Funchess. So she's got some athletes in her family. Hit 2 home runs in her very first high school game, so she announced her presence early. 2-1, fouled right back.
Just underneath that. Blumenshine working up in the zone here. Out of the zone. Still doing a good job keeping these high quality hitters off balance.
Lambriola homered. Southard got a single and scored on the sac fly. Kaylin Brown with a count of 2-2. 28th pitch this inning, and that is a wave and a miss for a strikeout to end the inning. 2 score, including how about a leadoff home run from Scarlett Lambriola. Boy, she hit this one a ton, crushed it over our camera. First thing, we were mentioning most pitchers go 1 inning, but Gonzalez, who threw the first, is going right back out there for the second.
Getting a chance for redemption after giving up six runs here in her first inning. Hopefully she's settled in, prepped and ready.
She did retire the last 3 she faced to end the first. And Rios plays for Extreme 16U. She's an Oregon Ducks fan, Sierra Romero fan. Fouled that one right back to the screen. The favorite position is catcher. She has the build of more of a middle infielder, but she'll strap the gear on and go behind the plate at some point. She looked at the strike. How about that slow bending off-speed pitch? It just about fell in for strike 3. This had me swinging.
Throws that backhand style changeup, that hard backspin, trying to get it to fall off the plate there.
Pop up to short, nothing easy, although the wind, I would say, has died down just a bit towards the twilight time here in Aurora, and Rios will pop to short, and that is the first down.
Good to get that first out here in the second for Gonzalez.
Sure is, and this is Avery Sisnicki, and we were watching her play for Iowa Premier in the 16U power pool game. One of the best players in her class, one of the best catchers in her class, and there you get a look at the bat speed as she rips one into left center for a base hit. Sisnicki will hold with a long single. She probably didn't collect the hits that she wanted to in the championship game, but she wastes little time here in the Future Stars game.
Gets those hands out quick. A pitch over the inner half of the plate. Drives it just to the left of second base. A lot of power. Number 88 out there, the 2027.
And this is Catalina Medina from Lady Magic.
Sazinski over there at first base as a catcher. She's waving off her courtesy runner.
That's right. I noticed that too. Medina from San Jose, California. Watch this one carry off the plate. She's saying, hey, I might only get one chance. I'm good. I'm going to run for myself.
It's the last day of the last game of the day.
Right.
Let me run, coach.
They play 6 more in the next couple of days, but today it's it. That's tagged but foul down the line and left off the bat of Medina, daughter of Joseph and Isabel. She wants to play at the highest level, have a chance to compete for a national championship. In fact, we're talking about games, and in fact, we asked her what her favorite fast pitch memory is, and she said her team had to play 6 games in a row to come out of the losers bracket to make it to a national championship game. So they're used to playing a lot of softball. We asked one of the players yesterday in our 18U Future Stars game, you know, what hobbies she had. She goes, I play softball. I don't have hobbies.
That's it. It's what it's all about.
No time for that. 2-2.
Well, these are our 2 Lego-loving pitcher and hitter here. They have that in common, both in their free time, like Legos.
How about that?
How about that?
Maybe it clears the mind. I don't know. From the pressures of softball. 3-2 changeup, just as missed. Well, she's thrown a couple of those slow, spinning off-speed pitches.
Used effectively here, I think, keeps these batters off balance, just knowing it's in play. Could be coming at any point, and I think Gonzalez, one of her main strengths here is alternating speeds between her pitches, effectively hitting those spots.
Morgan Waln from Virginia will bat, part of Unity. Lifted in the air, shallow center, but it's going to drop. And everybody, I think, is going to move up safe at third. So by not having a courtesy runner, Cisniski knew she had to get there. She could not be thrown out on that play.
Big smile on her face over there. Love to see the excitement and the fun that she's having.
Waln, who had a grandfather who played for the Kansas City Royals, wanted this to be a hit. Once it dropped, she didn't want to see a forced play at third and just get a fielder's choice. So she'll get the base hit. That's 3 straight that have reached.
Well done. Getting that changeup over the plate for first pitch strike.
Lenny Babbage from Carolina Elite, committed to Wofford. She's a Terrier. Pitch in there for a strike, indeed it is.
Another changeup. She's starting to feel it, getting comfortable in that groove.
You know, it's hard to sit on a changeup, but that thing comes in so slow that you might have time to reload if you recognize it at some point on its way to the plate. Another soft flare, no man's land. It's going to drop, safe at second. Everybody moves up and a run will score, and Blue is added to its lead.
Another run across the plate here, but again, outside of Sazinski's single here up the middle, not a lot of barrel. Good job by Gonzalez keeping these incredible hitters off balance. As we get a little deeper into the lineup, there is no shortage, no fall off of talent and ability here.
Emmy Harris, next up from the Bullets. Sure, Gonzalez would love to get it out. Pitch hangs in there for a strike. Harris from the state of Virginia. Wants to be a biologist. Took that one out of the glove of the catcher, the late swing, and fouled it away. She plays varsity for 3 high school sports. Basketball, cross country, and softball. So she's busy. Here's the 1-2. Able to protect and foul one away that looked like it was bending off the plate.
You see fewer and fewer of those multi-sport athletes these days.
It's tough, isn't it?
It's tough with club sports being year-round, really. Little break. It's good to remain versatile. Keep the athleticism up.
You're right. I mean, they're different sports, cross country for the endurance, basketball for the quick bursts, maybe the physicality at times.
Absolutely.
1-2 from Gonzalez, again fouled back. This is the Colorado 4th of July Sparkler 16U Futures game in Aurora, Colorado. We had the 18Us last night, both championship and future stars in Westminster. Younger kids get their crack tonight. That one a little bit out to Harris.
Good pitch, good eye.
This will be pitch number 49 for Gonzalez in a couple of innings. She's working on that outside corner, trying to either get a chase or a call, and she's getting neither in these last 2.
Just working the river, seeing how far off she can paint the black there.
Problem is the bases are loaded, needs a strike here. Ground ball to left center for a hit. It's going to chase home 2 more runs easily, and the blue team's putting some runs on the board. It's now 9-2.
Again, working that outside corner.
You can almost see Harris thinking and looking in that spot, right?
That pitch working away. Good, simple two-strike swing there. Get the job done. Those RBIs. That's what you like to see.
So 3 more runs this inning after a 6-run first. This is Hinano Batiste from LK Black, Hawaii. There was a quick out to start this inning, and since then it's been a ton of base runners. And Bautista trying to continue that. No surprise, her favorite college team is Oklahoma. Off-speed pitch stays upstairs. Plays off that high one is 2-1. 10 home runs this season for Bautista in the high school ranks in Hawaii. Now 3-1. Traffic on the bases. Bamich and Harris. Ground ball to second. And a bobble. And everybody's safe. There was maybe that split second where there was a thought, could there be a chance for a double player to get the lead runner? And then no outs were recorded.
Looks like thinking about that out at second base and that long second hop will eat you up if you're not focused in on it.
Tell you what, though, you're Gonzalez. You've thrown 55 pitches. You want some help when that ball's put in play and it looks like an out.
Absolutely. Take the ones that are given. Because we've hit on this several times. The more batters you're going to allow come to the plate, these hitters are relentless.
And this is Kathleen Alston. From LTG. Alston's from Rockland, California. Odyssey Alexander fan. Even though she's from California, she'd love a chance to play maybe for LSU or Florida State or Tennessee or even UCLA. Didn't want to make contact there, just could not get that bat out of the way. She's color-coded with that bat, with the uniform, with the helmet.
It is all very coordinated. Well done.
Alston to 2027. You see that on her sleeve. 6 straight have reached. May not be 7, although that was right on the chalk, and there was a little trepidation before that catch was made. But Alston pops up.
Good job out there by the second baseman. Sometimes those are tough Bermuda Triangle balls that loop in there.
I believe that was DeWitt. This is Kamaya Rishaw from the Lady Dukes. Soft fly ball to right, but Rishaw is going to be retired. Oklahoma native flies out to end what is a 3-run.
Lady Magic Munoz, 16U. She's a singer. Likes to go on walks, listen to music, and sing.
Well done. I believe this is Samantha Alekman, who's leading off for Red in the bottom of the second inning. Takes a strike out of LTG for Samantha. She's from El Dorado Hills, California. Big Jordy Ball fan and LSU fan, and wants to be a sports psychologist and is committed to LSU. So she's a 2026. Alekman will sky one to right. It's going to drop and roll up against the fence, so Samantha's not going to stop. She's going to cruise into second base and is safe to begin the second inning.
Just another simple,
it's balanced, isn't it?
Quick, balanced swing here. Didn't even finish all the way through, but just taking that pitch on the outer half out into right field.
Feels like we saw that a couple of times last night where it was almost half a swing and a strong half swing, another in order to kind of generate the power. You know there's more to come as they get older, that finish. Adding to their ability to hit a ball out of the yard. Kenley Garrett next up. Hard one bounce to second base. But the Oklahoma Athletics player hit it well, but she's retired. Alekman goes to third, and there's one gone.
Good hard hit there, and an absolutely fundamental fielding job there by the second baseman.
She took it on the short hop. She was blocking that ball to make sure it wasn't going to kick away.
Saw the top of her head. Watching that ball all the way into her glove. That's what you want to see.
Garrison is from Kansas City. She's committed to Boston College. She says it's an honor to have been selected for this game. It'll be exciting to play with so many talented athletes, and I look forward to meeting more in this event. So she's got the right attitude. Had a chance to visit over 20 states and 5 countries. So I tell you what, softball will take you around the country and then some if you have an opportunity or more to travel with your team or in certain events. Plays for Top Gun National 16U. Got jammed just a bit. It's a soft pop-up that'll be caught for out number 2.
Brad, I'd argue there's few club sports scenes out there for amateur sports that would take families and players across the country the way that softball does.
No, I would agree. I've lived it, I feel like. Madison Smith will roll one to the left for a base hit. It's also going to produce a run as Alekman will score. So Smith gets the single and the RBI for the 3rd Red run. And then there's some events like this one in Colorado that just become part of the itinerary and agenda every year.
Absolutely, Brett. I won't date myself here, but coming up in the youth softball scene, even when it was a relatively new sport coming on for girls and young women to play, I had the opportunity to play in this tournament several times, playing travel ball in Chicago. Coming out to Aurora, Colorado was something you just did every summer. I
like that. Just part of the natural progression of the schedule, but alum of this event.
Absolutely, in a place where you could have lots of eyes on you. You could showcase your talent.
This is Emma Barrett from Birmingham Thunderbolts Premier. Enterprise, Alabama native. It's a chopper to short. That ball was starting to come out of the glove. The throw went to first, but not in time as Barrett beat it. She was smelling a hit.
From contact, she was going hard. Knew that she had to get out of that box quickly to leg it out. Good hustle play.
Tell you more about Barrett if she bats a little bit later on. This is Bruner, Anastasia Bruner from I-5 softball. Pretty good pitch over the outside corner. Another California native is Bruner. He just about got taken out by a foul ball that landed behind us. Anastasia is committed to Idaho State University. So the first inning for Kennedy, she's thrown 19 pitches. If the last foul ball didn't take us out, that one just about did. But we're okay. That one is smoked and fair. Down the line and left, it's going to produce another run. Bruner's got a long single. Madison Smith will score. Another run for Team Red. It's now 9-4. That was a mistake. That was left up. Bruner able to send it down the line and left. Maddie Polk next up. Louisville Lady Sluggers Tackett. She serves another one down the line and left. How about that crowd? What a play.
Pitcher here.
Bailey Barnett going to lead things off from Top Gun 16U. Been a lot of runs for this blue team so far. They played at 6 in the first. They tacked on 3 more runs in the second.
See how Falls can handle this blue team here. Keep them below double digits.
Pitch taking and looking at a strike. To Barnett. think she's got a work glove on. That's not a batting glove. That's the type of glove you would wear out to ride your bucking bronco or make some fence. She could probably use that thing for years. You're not going to have that one blow out. Well, there you go. She can run a tractor, skid steer, zero-turn mower. I can recognize a farm glove like nobody else.
I think Grandpa might have donated that one down the line here.
Susanna Kalatian. Yeah, there you go. She's going to keep that thing on. Kalatian will take from Sorcerer, 16 gold. Interesting setup with those feet.
Closing that stance off.
She sure does. Pitch a little bit up and a little bit out from Falls. So a leadoff walk to begin things here in the third inning, and this blue team, they've had the pedal down most of the night offensively. Fly ball out to right. It has a little bit of carry, and yet the play will be made. For out number one. Baxter and Wright had that one measured. This was the young lady we saw play in our previous contest, Arichiga Kinley, part of the Impact Gold team that won the 16U Power Pool game. So Kinley had a brief break, and she's right back in for the Future Stars contest. Arichiga will take, and that's ball two.
Ball's really working the zone. We've seen a lot of strikes early from some of our other pitchers. Balls is nibbling.
I think it's a valid observation. You know, she's trying to work a little bit off that outside corner. You're really conscious of the fact you don't want to catch too much of the plate. And sometimes then you're trying to pick a nibble a little bit on that outside corner. Even 3-0 in a Future Stars game, you're worried if you just drop one over the middle, someone's going to take a crack at it.
The margin for error for these pitchers is so small. After batter that is just hitting at an elite level.
Off the end of the bat, but a play is made. I thought that might carry out in the shallow right.
Off the end of the bat. Love it when you see an infielder do a nice textbook drop step.
I believe that's Sue Third out there at second base.
Holding it down on the infield, helping her pitcher out. Well done.
Jenna Mannon is from the Indiana Magic Gold. Driven out to right, and that ball's going to have some carry. In fact, it's going to go to the fence. It's going to chase home a run. Mannon's not going to stop at second. She'll go sliding in at third base. And she's made it a 10-4 game. You know, the wind has died down a bit, but it's kind of that funny twilight time. And that ball had a little bit of run and a little bit of carry.
She was thinking 3 bases right off the bat.
And they'll tell you, you don't get the triple between second and third. You get it out of the box by running hard right away. This is Blumenshine. We've already seen her in the circle. Now Kayla, committed to Central Michigan. It's her chance to bat. And it counts 1-2.
Paul's bringing that nice off-speed pitch. Really just fell off the table.
Feels like that's been one of the constants from these pitchers. I think you mentioned it earlier, just trying to maybe even locate a little bit off the zone, but also really concentrate on the off-speed pitch.
Absolutely. As this game has evolved and we see pitchers throwing harder and harder, the hitters have stayed with them and evolved with them. And as hard as a pitcher can throw, and we see folks see some of these fantastic young pitchers hitting the upper 60s and 70 miles an hour, which was unheard of 10 years ago.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Ground ball to third. Blumenshine will be retired to end the inning. But a run scores for the blue team, up 10-4 as we head to the bottom. Is going to lead off. She's from West Lynn, Oregon. Verbal commit to Boise State. She wants to be a pediatric doctor or psychologist.
Future physicians facing off
here.
There
you go.
It's what we love.
Maybe they should play chess.
Some science fair.
Yep. Compete at something else in
activities.
Addition to softball. I'm liking where you're thinking.
You know, we have a lot of really incredible young women here who are really rooted in their identity as student athletes and as softball players, but it's so exciting to see their future hopes and dreams beyond their college education and their college playing days.
And if I'm a coach and I hear the ambitions and the career path for some of these players, it excites me because I know I don't have to worry about academically when they get on campus. Fouled back and out of play. If you can balance the demands of being a student athlete and playing, of course, softball or on the field, another sport, whatever that may be, just one less worry for some of those coaches.
The ability to balance and focus, get the most out of the education they have the opportunity to receive at some of these top-notch universities around the country. Showcase their softball skill all at the same time.
Pretty good pitch, just missed outside, a little bit low as well to Atwood. And this is a fun age, these 16Us, as we talked about in our previous game. You can see the promise, the athleticism. You know there's more to come. There's more size, maybe more strength. Ground ball fouled outside of third base. But by playing this many games at a high level, the mental side of the game maybe is further along than when you and I were coming up through the ranks.
No doubt. The theory of bigger, faster, stronger certainly reigns true, but at this age, as they start to come into their own and develop their own identities as a player, the mental side of the game and student-athlete mental health is continually a focus for our college programs. They're the best of the best. And their ability to balance their level of maturity continues to impress me on a regular basis.
Logan Bester will fly one out to right. The California native is going to be retired. She wants to be a defense attorney, so these ambitions continue. By the way, the moment of the game is brought to you by Triple Crown Sports. Unforgettable moments and experiences guaranteed. And you look at the fans that have turned out last night and today. They're even packed out behind the fence in right field, running out of room in the stands. Any place you can lean or sit, you take advantage. That's an outstanding throw to second base, but safe as Atwood. She was able to get to the back tip of the bag and get the stolen base. She's covered in Colorado dirt from chest to toe. It's got the oven mitt in her right hand, but the fans have turned out in an amazing capacity.
So many young players out here. It just shows you how strong the future of softball is, and a sport that just continues to grow around the country as we see the College World Series, every game being played on ESPN. So many more young girls seeing themselves reflected in those really amazing moments.
This is Seward. From Buzz Gold. She's going to poke one into right for a base hit. Maybe a chance to produce another run. Here comes Atwood to the plate. That ball was dropped. Atwood will score. And Seward will continue to second base after she got the single. So the Waco, Texas native, also a volleyball athlete and a track star, gets the base hit. And took off for second once that throw came to the plate. Zena Edwards from Batbuster Smith. Next up. There's another ball just kind of poked out into right for a base hit. The throw's cut off. That's going to keep Seward at third. She thought about trying to score, but Edwards gets the base hit.
We see these elite hitters facing the best pitchers, best young pitchers from around the country, and really just keeping it simple. Not trying to do too much. Hit the ball where it's pitched, be quick, get those hands out, keep the barrel on plane for as long as they possibly can. Good things will happen.
It's a good look at Edwards out of Elisa Viejo, California. Big Nigerie Kennedy fan. Who isn't?
Me too. Me too.
So much fun to watch. Alanis Robertson from Sorcerer. Has a chance to do some damage with runners on the corners. Hard hit up the middle and through for a base hit. Robertson will get the single. She'll plate another run for the red team, trying to climb their way back into this one.
Really great job just staying on top. That rise ball. See that upward spin. Is able to pound it into the ground.
What a first pitch swinging. This is Addie Bryant. And after the bobble, she's going to reach. And now the bases are loaded. So Bryant out of Kentucky wasted a little time putting that ball in play. She'd like to play for the Wildcats. Another first pitch swing. Gredzelanek will send one into left. It's going to score a run. Boy, we got a traffic jam on the bases now. Safe at second. Nobody's back at first. Gredzelanek gets the single and RBI. And there was a full-fledged traffic jam of the bases. And the red team didn't run themselves in any additional outs.
Well, we talked about controlled chaos here early on with 30 players in each dugout. Well, here's a little chaos on the field for you.
Yeah, that was probably not a send from second. And then the throwback to second, that was pretty close to being an out.
Three-man crew here for our officials. Hustling around out there.
I would say so. And this is DeWitt. And finally, we have somebody that takes that first pitch. Annalise DeWitt from Williamsburg, Iowa. See the Oregon logo on the side of her helmet. We had her in the previous game. Committed to the Ducks. It's a long ways from Williamsburg to Eugene. But now in the same conference as if she would go down the road to Iowa City. Is that ball going to drop? It is. It's fair. Everybody moves up, but another run will score. You know, sometimes in this game, you need a little bit of luck when you're pitching or playing defense.
You sure do, and the best of the best always have the ball bouncing in their favor, and that check swing just falls inside the left field line behind third base. And that'll score a run.
We're on pace for a score that would make the Denver Broncos happy. It's 10-8. We're in the bottom of the third. Kehi Aina from LK Black, Hawaii. And my confidence level, even reading the pronunciation guide, is maybe a little bit off.
I think you nailed it.
Okay, we're going with that. Soft flare to shallow center. That's going to drop. The soft contact is something else right now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight that have reached. There was one error in the middle of that, but it's been one soft hit after another, and here comes the red team. It's 10-8. There's still only one out this inning. And this is Kylie Holden from Unity 16U. Holden just tattoos one to center, and that's going to be over the head of our center fielder. Not only is it going to go to the fence, it's going to score one, it's going to score two, it's going to score three. Kylie Holden, the Orlando native, hit one to the center field wall, and her teammates just kept racing around the bases. You know, you talk about soft contact, and all of a sudden here comes a laser beam. Wasn't able to be caught in center. And then it was some acceleration around the base pass.
Absolute rope, and here's another one lifted deep.
This is going to be an opportunity for a jog from Jocelyn Gonzalez. We saw her throw 2 innings on the mound. They're in the circle, gets a chance to bat, and socks one out of here for a 2-run homer.
More and more that we see these two-way players coming up in college ranks. More inspiration for our young players.
This is a 10-run inning.
Smooth stroke there, just a little lift. Getting it up and over center field.
Lexi, the red team was trailing 10-4 coming into this inning. They're leading 14-10 as Norwood takes a strike. Actually, I think this is Angie Falls, who's going to bat for Arizona Rising. Tell you what, they need an out. And they got one, but it wasn't exactly without a little bit of trepidation.
Ali Ortega still dealing on the mound. Comes back after that back-to-back hard hits. That rope out to center field, and then following the home run, gets the easy out here.
And Macy Bryant will hit a pop-up to second base. That will end the inning. That might have been DeRoche. I think we skipped Bryant, but the inning ends 10-score, 14-10 as we go to the fourth inning.
With the ability for these players to go deep, our outfielders are likely playing a few steps farther back as they do up at altitude, allowing these hitters to just poke some balls that would have otherwise been potentially an out.
I believe this is Quincy Brown as we jump ahead. No, I think it's a very valid point. Sometimes you play deep because you're worried about the ball carrying, and then as you see at Coors Field from time to time, it's the bloopers and the balls that fall in front of the deep outfielders that start to compound.
Well, the scouting report on each of these hitters would be play them deep, play them a couple steps back. Here's your power, and it does leave the opportunity for those short bloopers, and with the wind blowing in, we've seen it come out.
Quincy Brown from Elk Grove, California. Committed to the University of Kentucky. Had a sister, Kennedy, that pitched at UC Davis. She broke records of the program for strikeouts, innings pitched, wins, saves, complete games, you name it. Had a brother, Cade, who currently pitches for Sac State.
Angie Falls here. That flip change that just dies as it gets to the plate.
Such a great shot. You can see the spin. You can see the tumble. As Brown will foul one back and out of play. This is Micah Kennedy. Big swing and a miss. Kennedy from Buzzgold, 16U. Beg your pardon, that's Lady Magic.
We saw Micah Kennedy earlier in this game on the mound.
Got her chance to bat, goes down on strikes. That is the second out of the inning. They're going to turn this lineup over, or the blue team here in the fourth inning. Allison Boddick. From Newtown Rock. She began this game with a double and score. It's another one just outside of the third base line.
Favorite movie is The Sandlot. Such a great classic.
It's a good one. Daughter of Dave and Rachel. Newtown, Pennsylvania native. High pop-up on the infield. Catch will be made, and Boddick is retired. That will end the fourth inning. That's the first time the blue team has not scored, and they're down.
Wants to be a veterinarian. Loves to walk her dog, Kirby. Tell Kirby I said hi.
Okay, there you go. Labriola homered to begin the bottom of the first inning, and it was a monster shot to straightaway center. Scarlett now batting. It's hard with 30-some players in a lineup to be batting for a second time in the fourth inning. Here we are after that 10-run third inning.
With a good solid halftime score of 14-10.
Yes. Had to settle for a field goal at one of those drives rather than trying to tie up the game. Strike at the bottom of the zone. Better of Danielle and Michael. It's a little bit up and a little bit out. Big fan of science and math. That'd be something she wants to concentrate on in her career at some point. Right now, she's concentrating on getting on base. She'll walk to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning against Brown. Shelby Souther hit an infield base hit, scored a run in the first. This one socked out to left. A little bit of carry. Going to deflect away. Here comes the throw to third. It's not in time. Souther will get the double. But that's just another play, Lexi, where it's been an inch or so away from a catch that ends up as a deflection instead for these hitters.
It's just a testament to the talent from top to bottom here. With all 60 plus these incredible players. Just an inch off the tip of the glove of the left fielder.
Leilani Gonzalez flew out to left in her only at bat to this point.
Brown seems to be bringing the heat here. Throwing a little harder than what we've seen out of some of our other pitchers tonight.
I think you're right. You get a little pop in that glove.
Without putting a gun on it.
Soft ground ball to short, betwixt or between on some of the speeds. That play is going to be made, but a run will score. So Gonzalez is retired. We'll pick up an RBI. The red team has added to its lead. It's 15-10.
Really great play here. Third base coming across, taking what's rightfully hers. Getting the speedy runner out. Well manufactured run, good defensive play. Good softball.
And Madison Joyner had an infield base hit in the first, gets a chance to bat for the second time. Tell you what, it's a tough sky right now. That's up there a long time. The play is going to be made, and Joyner retired for out number 2.
First pitcher here that's been able to get in on the hands of some of these hitters who are just so smooth and so fast.
Parker Willoughby, next batter. Takes strike 1.
Took a little off that one, spinning it hard.
Willoughby, the Ohio State commit. Going to look at another strike. It's quickly 0-2. Kentucky native, part of Louisville Lady Sluggers, 16U. Burt. She's a Skylar Wallace fan. Here's the 2-strike pitch. She's going to reach out and poke it down the line and left it foul. And there's a lot of foul territory here in Aurora. A lot of running for these outfielders, at least the corner outfielders.
Plenty of room to play.
(15-10), the red team in front. In the bottom of the 4th, these are scheduled for 7-inning games. Usually we have pitching allocated for both the top and the bottoms of the frames through 7. But we have seen, Lexi, a few pitchers go multiple innings early, which I think is a little bit different, at least for me.
Well, as the days pass in this tournament, the innings on the arms here probably playing a role for the determinations of coaches putting pitchers out there on the mound. And as we can see with our score 14-11, a lot of pitches being thrown and a lot of runs being put up on the board.
Yeah, it is.
$15-10, excuse me.
Say the person running the scoreboard is having the darndest time tonight.
Depends on which one you're looking at.
He keeps giving the runs to the wrong team. That one's a little bit in.
Szynski wanted that behind the plate.
Yeah, don't go by that. That's wrong. Our 15-10 score. That's correct. 2-2 to Willoughby. Another soft ground ball to third. That's another play. How about a dart on the run?
Another great play.
Couple of really good plays over at third base. Believe that will end our inning, and indeed it will. Run score is 15-10.
Are the best of the best. Pitching in a tough environment against elite hitter after elite hitter. Such a small margin for error. Can't discount their ability. Good thing this these scores won't be reflected in their ERA.
Good point. McLaughlin reached on a catcher's interference where she knocked the catcher's glove 15 feet in front of the plate, which was a first for me, for the new Lenox, Illinois native. Sometimes you might graze the catcher's glove, or they might pull it back, or there's a little bit of a wince, but that glove went flying out towards the circle.
Usually just a sound that you might hear. That sounds a little out of the ordinary.
Just a little tip, a little contact.
If you're going to do it, leave no doubt.
There's a ground ball to second, scooped and played to first. McLaughlin retired, so Falls gets the first out to begin the top of the 5th inning.
Excellent start by Falls. Nibbling around the zone, continuing to be effective in that space. Gets an easy ground out.
This is Brooklyn Atha. We did not have our pronunciation guide when she batted in the 1st inning. So Atha is how Brooklyn's name is pronounced from Impact. Knocked in a run with a single back in the 1st inning from Buford, Georgia. Pitch carries off the corner, 2-1. Daughter of Sarah and Jason. Had a big game this year in the high school ranks. First game of the state championships. Game was tied, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, and she walked it off to win. Ball seems to be getting better the deeper she gets into this game.
She sure does, and the Tegan Cavan fan, woman after her own heart here, bringing that flip change, keeping these hitters off balance.
Hooked softly to first, and that was about as easy of a play as you can muster. Atha retired for out number 2. That's one of those you just have to lay down in front of it. You don't want any spin to kick away or kick off a glove because outs can be tough to come by, and that is a bit of a gift.
Big smile there because she knew it. That thing can do just about anything, and you want to get to it as quickly as you possibly can.
Alice Hand had a 2-run double earlier. Warrior Academy McDonald, 16U.
Couple of Stanford fans out here facing each other, facing off.
Alice is from Foster City, California. She's again interested in playing in the Ivy League. Falls might have a chance for a 1-2-3 inning. That one's outside the bag at third. A little kick save and a beauty. It saved a left fielder a little bit of running.
Great execution there, showing off them foot skills.
Pretty good frame job behind the plate to try and bring that back and get strike 3, but instead the count 2-2. These catchers, I would imagine, have never worked with most of these pitchers. Different teams and trying to figure out their strengths and almost do it on the fly.
It is definitely advantage hitter in situations like this where having a good pitcher-catcher relationship is so essential.
Wave and a miss. How about a 1-2-3 inning, Lexi?
Settling in and in Clemens, North Carolina. Two-way player here.
Nice play at first. Leah English going to be retired on 1 pitch. That's an economical way to do it.
Sure is, and the full fan club is excited to cheer on Maxwell. Important to remember that every single one of these players out here on the field has a village behind supporting them.
I think her village is close to us.
It is right next to us.
Caitlin Brown struck out back in the first from the Dukes.
Incredibly enthusiastic as well.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I love it. Another physician taking the mound, future anesthesiologist.
future earnings potential for this group of 16U future stars is off the charts.
Anybody out there who wants to make some investment in some future stars of the medical world, here they are. They're multi-talented.
Yes, split screen enthusiasm. The countenance on the face of Maxwell is one of concentration, but not so much for her cheering section. As Caitlin Brown sees the count go to 2-0, I believe. New Jersey native is Caitlin Brown. Lefty's pumping at the bottom of the zone, gets the strike.
Maxwell, the first lefty pitcher we've seen out here, really working the outside corner. Szynski's still back there behind the plate. Great framing.
That one's going to be ball 4, so Brown will draw the walk. Reach with one out in the bottom of the 5th for the red team, and they had that 10-run inning, and that's why they're up by 5, and now a chance to add to it. Samantha Alickman. Next up, she doubled and scored in the 2nd when the red team got a couple of runs. At that point, they were down big. They were down 9-2.
Tale of 2 games here.
Yeah, from down 7, up 5. Maxwell's next one is shot foul. The enthusiasm just increases with each strike or out.
I really hope the folks at home can feel the energy that's been brought to the mound since Morgan Maxwell has joined us here as the pitcher.
She must be popular because it's not like our cheering section are all wearing Georgia Impact shirts or jerseys. Oh, they were trying to will strike 3. They didn't get it. They were trying.
She's got Power 4 aspirations. Maybe she can bring that crowd with her wherever she ends up. Part of the full recruiting package here. Coaches take note.
Alickman from El Dorado Hills, California. She's a swimmer, gymnast as well. Wave and a miss, strike 3. And the fans in the stands enjoy that strikeout.
Well, that's about as loud as you're going to hear it in this stadium, and that's about as good of a pitch as you're going to see. Good amount of twist, drop to that ball. Absolutely beautiful.
Kinley Garrett's going to take a strike at the bottom of the zone. From Oklahoma Athletics. Garrett is a Elgin, Oklahoma native, daughter of Lexi and Chelsea. She likes to hunt and fish. It doesn't surprise you, right? From Elgin, Oklahoma. Two-strike pitch. Poked in the right for a base hit. So Garrett continues to frame, but an out at second base. Brown rounded too far. And that's going to end the inning.
We have an incredible amount of respect and do a lot of work in supporting those guys in blue on the softball field and all around other sports, and the amount of investment and time, money that they put in to giving back to this sport so these student athletes can play is incredible, and we appreciate all that you do.
Amaya Jones will rocket one to center, and that's going to be an out to begin the 6th inning. And again, we'd have a new pitcher in the circle as well.
Yeah, this is Addison DeRoche, 16U Mojo Lewis. She's a 2027 out of Westbrook, Maine.
Well, she's come a long way.
She sure has. Jordy Ball fan. Loves her demeanor in the circle and how she lives her life.
She's got to be a Cooper Flag fan too, doesn't she, from the state of Maine?
Must be. Sports documentaries, though. Derek Jeter, Serena Williams, and the one and only Michael Jordan.
Chloe Chappell hit a home run way back in the first, so she's getting a chance to bat again, and this time against DeRoche.
2024 Maine Gatorade Player of the Year, freshman year. Wants to be an ESPN color analyst.
Hey, who doesn't?
Me too.
Chappell committed to East Carolina. Her nickname, C-Money. C-Money showed why with that homer in the first. And this has not been an easy field to homer on today with the conditions and whatnot. This time, though, she'll chase one up in the zone, go down on strikes. And the pitchers are trying to restore a little bit of order late in this game.
They sure are. She went down deep for that rise ball there, bringing it up in the zone. Just underneath with the barrel for strike 3.
Avery Stockwell singled back in the first as well. And that's when the blue team scored 6 runs to start the scoring, and now they're down 5.
Again, a tale of 2 games here, especially as our pitchers get settled in. Gain some confidence out there, holding it down.
We got Mojo against Mojo.
It is.
That's Mojo on Mojo crime. Stockwell with the 2-out single. And Avery, the Tennessee native, gets the base hit. I think that smile's a little bit bigger because it came off a teammate.
I saw a look exchange there across the field.
That's some bragging rights.
Absolutely.
Kaylee Baxter.
Few things better than getting a hit off your own teammate.
Yeah, I think that ranks up there pretty high.
Sure does.
Baxter line to left back in the first. Snap toss down to first. You don't want to get picked off while you're beaming with pride, so she was able to scamper back. Baxter in the box out of Oklahoma City. Kinsey Hansen fan.
Pulls a string there for a strike.
And the 1-2. Cut on and missed. That's strike 3. And the inning ends. So another 0.5 inning. Go to the bottom of the frame. Right up by. Smith had a single. Drove in a run. Way back in the second inning. Bautista from LK Black, Hawaii. Rip and a miss, and it's a ball, then a strike. Addison Smith is from Katy, Texas, in the Houston area. Plays for Texas Unity, 16U Smith. She is committed to NC State. Big cut and a miss. Hobbies, pickleball, sand volleyball, and making TikToks. I think that probably is part of most of these players' hobby list.
I would say so.
She's a 2026. And the 2-2. Cut on a miss. Bautista pumped that in there, and Smith cut through it.
Bautista, another lefty on the mound here.
Just when I expected that pitch to really take off, it had a little drop to it.
Played it had that downward spin. Almost like a screwball in the outside corner for the lefty.
Emma Barrett from the Birmingham Thunderbolts. Beat out an infield hit when she batted in the second. That's at the bottom of the zone, but called a strike. So Batista got the K, now looking for a second out. That's on the ground to third. It wasn't backhanded, it's fair, and it'll kick it to foul territory. Barrett on her way to second base. Safe in under the tag. That was a pretty good throw coming in from left field in foul territory.
Good bang bang play here. That hop around third base. Going to two. Sneaks in there. Good call, Blue.
Hammered foul by Bruner. She had an RBI single in that two-run second inning. Although we might have skipped a couple of players, I think. Lifted a mile in the air to right field, and this ball is going to be caught in foul territory. Barrett will advance and go to third.
That is probably one of the harder balls to track in this game. That right-handed hitter hitting the ball down the right-hand line. That ball is just spinning away and away and away from the defender. Really great job, hard focus, tracking that ball down.
This is Bruner. We had somebody bat that's in the same order the last time through, but not that we're keeping track or trying to, but I am. Because Barrett and Bruner batted back-to-back in the second and then had somebody inserted between them this inning.
Minor details, Brett.
Okay, if you say so. I'm not an accountant, but I like it when it all kind of evens out and makes sense. But, going to have to let that go at some point.
Little chaos, good for the soul.
Bruner is a California native. We've had a lot of West Coasters in this game. How about a play it short, throw to first, safe. Bruner gets the infield single, but a valiant try at short. Run number 16 scores, but not without a really good effort.
Incredible move here by the shortstop, Mannon. Throwing the ball from her knees, just not quite enough zip on it to get the speedy runner down at first base.
This is Maddie Polk. Cue shot to third, should be handled, and will. That's a strong throw, but safe.
More speed.
And the inning continues. Didn't feel like that was too slow of a sequence and release, and that throw was zipped across the diamond, but unable to get out number 3.
Fielded smoothly, quick transfer, still beats it out.
Kendall Atwood will hit, bunts through that one for strike 1. Atwood walked, swiped a base, and scored, part of a 10-run third inning. Ten runs at an all-star game is not easy to come by either. 0-2.
Nano Bautista on the mound here. And another southpaw. Gets the K.
Indeed she does. She went right after Atwood. Got the from DeRoche.
Lost that one a little bit. Got stuck in the back of the hand. Good time to have that happen.
Quick conversation in the circle.
Making sure they're on the same page.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of confusion. Well, that dugout is packed. If you sit on the bench, you've got no chance to see what's going on.
Well, remember those faces, folks. It's what you're going to be seeing down the line in the future.
Yep, we could see them next year in this game of the 18U championships or power pool. More softball to come for these teams that will continue to win this weekend. That one socked foul down the line and left, and that ended up, I think, in the dugout.
Watch out in there.
Stell flew out to right field during that busy first. Plays for Rising. Well, that looked like a pretty good pitch.
So just missed off the outside corner there. Really great job, Blue, behind the plate today. Continuing to nibble there, but from DeRoche.
Count's gone full to the leadoff hitter in the top of the 7th. Grounded to second, diving stop from the knees in time at first base. Oh, that was some type of play. I think that's Holden at second.
Picture perfect here. Good pitch on the outside half. Stays low, starts low, stays low. Makes quick work of that throw. Puncher out from second base.
Great effort.
Well, Brett, we've talked a lot about the 60-plus players here in the dugout and of the top talent that we're going to be seeing on TV. Big swing and a miss there. But there's also thousands of other players here in Colorado this week looking for an opportunity to play at the next level, and a lot of really great opportunities out there. Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college.
Yeah, no shortage of opportunities. I want to mention, I think that was Leilani Gonzalez who snuck into play second base, who made that play. I want to give her proper due, but I'm a father of a Division II softball player, so there's different levels, there's opportunities around the country. That one's popped up.
Nice pitch.
Owen's retired on the pop-up. There's Leilani. We have defensive charts, and sometimes they change. But when somebody makes a good play, it's always fun to go back and give proper credit where it is due.
Can confirm. Flashing that leather. Great job, Leilani. Love to see it.
Sienna Rios popped to short in her only previous at-bat. From Extreme, 16U, as the helmet and the jersey would tell you. A little bit down in the zone from DeRoche. Really, she's done a nice job at her 2 innings.
Really doing a lot of nibbling around the corners, moving the ball up and down, getting those ground balls, letting her defense do some work for her.
If she retires Rios and the only base runner and the only hit she gave up in 2 innings was to her teammate Stockwell, then Avery will have even more cards to play, needling her.
Ruining her no-hitter.
2-2 is strike 3 call.
Runner up on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch.
Well done by DeRoche. 2 scoreless innings, gave up just 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Red team has won the game, but they'll still bat with a 16-10 game. Got to go multiple innings that this might do it. And